Felipe is trying again. Let's see, Felipe. There is here. 1 second. I'm trying. Let's see what is happening. Yes, Felipe. I'm trying, but it doesn't work. 1 second. I'm trying again. Yes, Felipe.
Hello, hello,
Hello. Good morning. How do you do?
hello, Eti. I'm fine. I'm now it's working. I'm just happy to be here and hear you and Jill. And just to say, Eti, that this what Jill just said about this, let's say, peace for the heart. That is the understanding that we appear and we manifest, but we do not have to bother about things because we are like in a dance. We come and go. So just to thank you again and say that these conversations are continuing to inspire us every day. So just uh, just wanted to thank you. Thank you, Eti.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I would like to start with a question. Naturally or historically or traditionally, where do people sharp their knife? Traditionally. Traditionally, through history, how people are sharpening their knives. Have you seen it? Have you read about it? Have you thought it usually? How people are sharpening their knives? It's an open question. Good morning, Fernando. We're so happy to see you here. Against a type of metal. That's correct. That's correct. And have you seen, yes, have you seen once, it's maybe more traditional that people are sharpening their knives upon a stone. Have you seen this maybe in a movie? Or have you read about it? Yes, a stone. So how people sharpening their knives, which is from metal, they sharpen it on a stone. Now, what is a stone in Hebrew? How do we say stone in Hebrew? Remember? Let's type. Even. Very well. Even. Even. Yes, let's type it. Even. Aleph Bet. Final noon. Even. Even. Now, the word even is a composition of two words. The word even is a composition of two words. Which are the words? Father and son. Father and son, Av. Father, Ben, son, even, father and son. Now, let's look at this script. What does it mean? That sharp, or what does it mean when a knife can be sharpened on a stone? And a stone is not just stone. In English, it is even. In Hebrew, which is a composition of Av and Ben, father and son. What does it mean? Do you understand the question? Fernando, did you hear the question? Let's go through the course of thinking. How do we sharpen knives? Cindy, good morning. We're very happy to see you here. Shalom, shalom. How people are sharpening their knives on a sharp object, another metal Jill wrote, also upon a stone. A stone in Hebrew, even. Even is a composition of two words in Hebrew. Av, father, and Ben, when usually Av, father, is the cause, symbolically, and Ben is the effect. Now, what does it mean that the knife is being sharpened by Av and Ben, cause and effect? What does it mean? You don't have to answer of this question now, just keep it in your mind and think about the binding of Isaac. Because the ceremony could be held by different tools, it could be burned only, not using the knife. Yes, we could go like that. But what does it mean if we look into it? What does it mean? Good afternoon, Abigail. This is an open question, maybe for homework. Why to use a knife? Knife usually separates things, cutting things. Yes. Yes. This is a question for homework. Now, would you like to ask any other question or to share anything? What happens in time, since our eyes, yes, are capable of seeing only linearly. So what happens to all of us is that our brains are always seeing, in a way, progress. What was before and what will be after, cause and effect. What was before. Good evening, Yanis. We're very happy to see you here. This is how all of us, it was before and this is after. This is a linear thinking. The binding of Isaac is saying something else. There is no linear way. There is no beginning and end. Nobody's being born and nobody dies. Therefore, there is no need for all this ceremony to sacrifice or to bring it as an offering. More than this, there is no father, there is no son. Only to the eye of the beholder. Only to the eye of the beholder. What does it mean? If we just, all of us walk together on the shore and we see few people together, Rosh Chodesh Nifla, Yanis, this is a new month of Nisan, yes? Nisim Shelanu, our miracles, yes. Let's see, all of us are sitting and like next to the shore and we see people are moving, it's spring. We see a few people together. To the eyes, we shall see adult, and to the eyes, we shall see a toddler. Immediately, we shall say that this is the father or the uncle, and this is the son or the nephew. This is the narration, this is what will jump into our eyes already. This is pre-programmed. Inside of us, we shall say this is the father, this is the son, the adult is the father or the uncle, and The young one is the son or the nephew. This is what we shall say without hesitation. Ask anyone here from any culture, in any time. This is what everybody will say. Why? Because all of us, this is how the brain is programmed to see what was before and what there is now. So the youngest, in a way, was born later, appeared later. This is why he is the son. And the one who appears before is the cause of the father. Everybody will say, according to the eyes, this is what we are saying, and this is what we see, and this is what we shall say, but it's not so. This is why they say in most of the laws, there is no previous and afterwards in the Bible, because the Bible is not a history book. They say in the law, en mukdam, mukdam is previous or before, or meuchar, or later in the Bible. Because the Bible is not history book. There is, like, so to speak, if we want to look at it, a plot, but the plot says something completely different. So, en mukdam or meuchar b'Torah. There is no previous and then later. There is, and whenever we open it, this is what is happening. Also, there is no father and there is no son. There is no cause and there is no effect. If we look through the lens of time, through the matrix of space and time, we can say this was before and this is happened after. But through the matrix of time. Beautiful, Cindy. Beautiful. This is a new moon. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. There is a beautiful, yes, like a crater. Yes. Thank you for sharing so much. This is why it is interesting that you bring this picture and this month, because this is freedom from any. This is the Exodus. This is the month of Exodus. Yes, for freedom from any concept. Yes, freedom from any concept. Therefore, in the evening of the Seder, in the evening of Passover, everybody is like sitting around the table, meaning not just round table, but the concept of Hasava, like circling around the table, not sitting in a 90 degrees angle. There's no like executive table, who is the elder and who is the younger, because this is what the meaning of freedom is. There is no father, there is no son, there is no grandfather, there is no grandmother, just appearances. So Passover, yes, Passover also, when we take the letters and relate to them, brings the numbers 148, which is Chag, it's unicity. There is no relations as the brain portrays for us in time and space. Therefore, not therefore, but we can read, Isaac is being born now in the spring. But his binding is happening in Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah is in the autumn, the birth of the year, the birth of time. So Isaac, not just a historical baby, the idea of laughter, of joy that is beyond time and space is in spring. The binding, the father and the son, so to speak, the story of I'm sacrificing my son. This is only the story that is being told in time and space. Do we understand? Questions? Yanis questions, Cindy questions, Abigail questions, Fernando sharing questions. Please feel free. The story, yes. Yes, Felipe. Can you hear Felipe?
Can you hear me,
Yes.
Eti?
Yes, I can. How do you do?
Fine, Eti. Just something I was reading, not profoundly, but I just it kept me curious about. Um, it was this book saying that crying. It was explaining the crying as a like a mystical technique or something, and in that passage it was mentioned something about like transforming a rock into water. It's like something related with Rabbi Akiva. But really, I cannot say much because it was, I couldn't go deep into. But just caught my attention this fact of crying, the tears as something that was like to make help to contact to connect with the source. And it's interesting because when we say about happiness, we think about crying as sadness, or sometimes we often may get tears of joy also. So I just was curious about what do you have to say about this crying or the tears related with our connection to the source city.
Thank you for the question. Yes.
Thank you.
The word for tear, I shall write it here on the yes. The word for tear is dim'a. Dim'a. Dim. It's like dimmering, like dimming. Yes, sounds like dimming, but let's say. If you notice, the first two letters of dim'a are Daled and Mem. Daled and Mem are the two first letters, like from blood. Do you see this? Dim'a is a tear. The two first letters, yes, are dam. So what happens is the tears, in a way, or the cries, they express the separation. What can be separated? Meaning, when there's crying, when the tears are appearing, it is an expression of the separation. Is it understood or not yet? There is a beautiful verse in the Bible that says that when people Also, the word appears in the Babylonian Talmud because there's writings there of the language, and somebody who sowing the land, yes, put the seeds in the ground. This process is called crying. Yes, there is a verse that says, another one does. It's a very good question. There is a verse that says, Hazorim bedim'ah, those who are sowing in a tear, Zorim bedim'ah, berina yiktzoru, they will harvest in happiness and joy. Yiktzoru, yeah. Hazorim bedim'ah, those who are sowing with tears, they shall harvest in happiness. There's the verse. So the process of putting the seed or sowing the seed in the ground is an action of separation. Do we first understand it? Because if someone has a seed of few seeds of wheat in the hand, let's say, traditionally, not now when everything is happening with machines and computers. Traditionally, like in the kindergarten, we had this beautiful experience that the kindergarten teacher took us to the field and opened a can of wheat seeds and gave each other in the hand. And she said, just open your hand and throw it into the field. So what happens in the moment of sowing the wheat, the seed, yes, excellent, Yanis. So what happens in the moment of seeding or sowing, yes? You have few grains, the potential of the wheat in your hand. But to sow it, to put it in the ground, you have to open your hand and just give it, yes? And gravity will take it and put it in the land, in the field, and then the rain will come, yes? And the wheat will grow. But at the moment of sowing, of putting it in the ground, there is a separation from the potential. This is understood, the process, first of all. So seemingly, the potential of gold, the seed of wheat is gold, like you hold a gold, the sun tears in your hand, yes? Like Freya's song. You hold the potential in your hand, the potential of the soul, yes? And now what? You have to open your hand and just give it and not to see it 9 months or so. You have, in a way, inside a sense of separation from this world, from this infinite potential. This is the process of sowing, to put a seed of wheat or any kind of potential in the ground, in the darkness. You're not able to touch it, to see it. It's just hidden in the dark. So the tears, now the question is about the tears. The tears that we cry, they come down from the eyes, yes, and they drip or fall from the eyes like waterfall, but they are salty. They are salty. If we somebody who cries and he cries, it happens, yes, that sometimes you taste the tears that are coming, they are salty. Can we drink, just an example to open it, can we drink tears? Is it sweet water? Is it sweet water? Is it spring water from the source? We cannot drink tears. They're salty. and they're warm. Usually when we want to drink water, we look for fresh water, cold and sweet, meaning unsalted water. But tears, we cannot drink. They are warm and salty. They give us the sense of separation. So, and I don't know, Felipe, what have you been reading regarding Rabbi Akiva? There is a story about Rabbi Akiva that he was a shepherd and he was illiterate man. He did not know how to read and write. And he was moving with the flocks in the field, and suddenly he noticed a rock. And he stopped next to the rock, and he noticed that there's like a space in the rock. He also noticed that what created the space in the rock is just a little drop of water every time falling on the rock. And he says, if this only little drop of water can make a space in the rock, in the hard, tough rock, by its consistency, just being consistency, a drop of water every time, he says to himself, I also can learn and read and write. This is the story about Rabbi Akiva being illiterate at the age of 40. But this is also about us, because 40, yes, is the letter Mem or final Mem. If we want to look at it, it's like a room with 4 walls. And in a way, those 40 years, people are just dreaming, thinking that this is what life is about, because people live the narration, not life, but what we are told that life is about. And the need of Rabbi Akiva to break those walls of ignorance. It means people can read and write, and people can have still many skills. But if their ego is in the center, if they think that life is about me, it doesn't matter how many years they have in academics, how skilled they are. If people, it doesn't matter which age also, still believe or think that the world is around them, this is basically ignorance, and this is basically being illiterate, because there is a blockage between me and the world. It is good to cry, because if it comes, no need to stop it. The tears of the cry, they relieve, they manage to melt an inner wall inside, and the wall of separation that we have, it just melt into tears, and then they go out, and there's a great load which is being relieved from the heart. So when people cry, it's great. Yes, Rodrigo is writing the word tears, the ma'ot, which could be divided into 2 other words, dam and ot. Tears could be the ma'ot. Yes, this is, yes, because it's the external. Yes, yes, yes. The ma'ot, ot is a letter, ot, but this is again with aleph, not with ayin. But if you want to look at it, it's just the bodies. When there's a cry, It comes from separation. In a way, any cry is a cry of separation. Yes, that's correct. In certain cultures, I don't know if you also experience this. Uh, Boys are being told, or toddlers are being educated not to cry at at your first immediate surrounding. This is also like this. That boys are being told or command or by adult that boys can never cry or show any tears. Yes, you see, not to show separation. Yes, I remember. I remember, and I saw this also that in childhood that they're shouting at a boy not to cry, not to cry. I don't know if there's connection later, but he also used to have a dripping nose. He could not cry, so his nose was dripping all the time. And then, as an adult, he went to a surgery to stop the tears from the nose. And guess what? It did not stop. Not just Cindy. I heard from a Scottish, a person who was born in South Africa and grew in Scotland, and he said that he was not allowed to cry, and only when he saw a movie, he felt very emotional. He saw the movie Gladiator. It doesn't matter, but he just left the room. The family was watching the movie together. He was so moved by the movie Gladiator. I think it was one. He left the living room, went to his room upstairs, closed the door on a key, and cried for himself because he said in a Scottish education or house, boys, men shall never show tears. Yes. He's now adult, and he says he's like from Scotland. It's not just South America. Scotland. It says men should never cry. Even boys are forbidden to cry or to show any kind. I was in the room when a boy next to me was shouted by his father, threatened not to cry. And now he's going from doctor to doctor to stop the dripping from the nose. He's just going from one surgeon to another to stop the dripping nose, but it does not come from the nose. If you would like to ask a question or to share a story, you're most welcome to unmute and speak. Yes, Cindy? Yes, Cindy's writing, I purposely let my children see my tears. Yes, yes, yes. Hello, Fernando. Good morning.
Hello, matey. Good
How do
evening.
you, how do you do?
I'm fine and very happy to be here with you. Uh, just to add something, we read so many things. I'm not sure about where I read it, but I read once that when we get emotional and cry, like with something, with an event, with theater, movies nowadays, or reading a book, um, the author, that I'm not sure who he was, connected this feeling with a sphere.
Mhm.
He connected with that, and because we feel this emotional sometimes in the throat,
Mhm.
like trying to especially men, you try to not cry, so
Mhm.
it gets stuck in your throat, and and he said that this is the part of transformation. It is like a seed, since you said you was speaking about the seed, the importance of the seed. It is a seed that is going down for that, and bringing this rain, this changing in your nature, like releasing a space. I don't know what you think about it, but and I know that I was not precise at all, but it was just some ideas.
It is beautiful because, thank you, Fernando. It's beautiful. You reminded me of the writing of Chaim Vital about Cain, that he says that Cain was like a drop. He gives this, he speaks in a symbolical way. He says Cain is a consequence of a drop from Adam that was separated. And there's like the tears are descending, like you said, in that there's a descending, a falling, a gravitation, separation. Also, he says that Ezekiel, the prophet, he was from, symbolically speaking, he was from the side of Cain. Therefore, God says to him, Ben Adam, son of man, Amod al raglecha, stand on your legs. In Hebrew, in English, stand on your feet. In Hebrew, stand on your legs. And Chaim Vital, on the behalf of the Ari, says, why does God tell Ezekiel, Amod al raglecha, stand on your own legs? Because he is from the side of Cain, and Cain, in a way, is a consequence of serpent tempting Eve, and the serpent has no legs. He moves on his belly. Therefore, God, when speaking to Ezekiel, he says to him, Ben Adam, son of man, as a correction. Because again, Ezekiel is from the side of Cain, and Cain is a son of Adam, not just of man, son of Adam. So, Ben Adam, son of Adam, stand on your legs. This is a correction because the serpent was walking on his belly, and a man stand on his legs, and corrected. Cain consider, according to the books of Luria. Luria was speaking, Chaim Vital was writing the books. Cain is considered to be a falling. A drop that fell from Da'at fell, and Cain was born. And separation started. Of course, the separation also goes one step ahead and does killing of Abel. But it starts with this. When there's separation in Da'at. Therefore, the only thing that I can think of why there's such a tendency to tell the boys not to cry is just don't lose your da'at or don't lose your mind. But it's beautiful in the process of crying. There's like the book of Zohar Medaber al in Hebrew. The book of Zohar speaks about crying. It says that the tears are warm, very warm and salty, and symbolically he says that are being cooked in the intestine. And this is not medical, how do you say, medical manual about crying. This is a very interesting it's a concept or it's a metaphor. He says, the book says that the tears are being in a way cooked. They're coming warm, like they're coming from a melting pot. They come from the intestine, they rise. This is an opposite, yes? Just to listen to this wisdom. They come opposite, they're being cooked in the intestine, they're very warm and salty, they're rising up, and in a way, when people cry, they relieve from their tears like a great separation. But again, not in that, it is, in the bellies. Yeah, when the snake is belly, and this is a very, very interesting explanation. Yes, Fernando.
Just one more thing.
Yes.
I think that Cindy is with her hand, but just one little thing. I was remembering about that drawing that the eyes are the yod
Yes.
and the ears the letter hey, the nose the vav, and the mouth the second hey. And I was thinking that the tears and they are falling, they are not falling in the throat, let's say. They are not going, it's not our liquids that are going down in that. In fact, they are throwing from the face to the body. So it may be an expression of mercy, maybe an expression of this mercy element. I don't know.
Yes, you're right. There is a beautiful article about it when all the gates are closed in life. Yeah? The gates of tears are always open. When everything is closed, when all options are closed, only the gates of tears are open. There's
That's
a
really
beautiful
beautiful.
article. Yes,
Thank you.
Cindy?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Good morning. How do you do?
Good morning. Very good. Thank you. I just wanted to share a story that happened recently with one of my nieces. Um, just kind of related to what we're speaking about, and it's interesting to think about the story. And I'm going to say it from a depersonalized standpoint, or tell it from that standpoint, as it has been very sad for me. But I just tell the story. She's 3, and a woman was keeping her for a week, and while she was keeping her, one of the woman's dogs bit her face, and
Oh,
one of its teeth went into her tear duct and broke it on one of her eyes, and among other places on her face, but particularly it tore her tear duct. And my brother couldn't get to her quickly, and so he was sending pictures and asking, what do I think, and um, things like that, and also to other family members, what do they think? And we all said, she needs to go to the doctor. And we didn't know why this woman didn't want to take her to the doctor. And finally, my brother, as soon as he could, went to her, and immediately took her to a children's hospital. And they took her to surgery immediately. And what's interesting is the doctor said that her tear duct, if he doesn't repair it, it will cry out of the eye forever. It will not be able to stop the tears, or the water from coming. And so it's very important within a certain amount of days to repair the tear duct. And thankfully, it was very successful, and he repaired it. And she has a stent in that she will have for 3 months. But just the whole story, looking at it, the dog, as we talk about how our brains can be like a dog and want to chew on a bone and want to think about something, and how this dog went and ripped the tear duct, and like if it had not been repaired by the doctor, the tears would have flown forever. Like if we think about some things and we chew on these bones and we cry in a way forever, if we don't get the doctor, like my brother, her dad took her, the doctor who repaired it, who said, no, this isn't going to leak forever. We're going to repair it. And how sometimes there's people or stories that want us to stay in the state that we're in when God, the source creator, wants us to hear a new story, to not have to cry forever. And so, anyway, I'm just kind of relating what we're talking about to that story, and kind of brings a whole new perspective to it. So that's what I wanted to share.
thank you so much for sharing. And we hope that she's feeling better and will feel better. Thank you
Much
so
better.
much.
Yeah, much better. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Fernando,
Yes,
would you like to say something?
I was thinking about what Cindy was, this story that Cindy brought to us, and I hope she's getting better, Cindy. And it's always good to listen to you. And I was thinking also that sometimes we bring, I don't know what do you think about this, Eti, but sometimes we bring things that comes even from, I don't know, from another planet or from the hidden or from another life. You can choose it. Because you said about this young boy that was leaking in his nose.
Yes.
But sometimes, and in this example was quite uh, okay to correlate. You cannot cry, so it's leaking in another way, not so good
Yes.
way. But sometimes we bring things that comes from where we do not know. Like a person that brings this. I know that from Cindy was an accident or something, but but sometimes people brings things that are from, I don't know, from another life. What do you think about it?
Like,
Like one that that brings this, I don't know, that cries, that has this ability to cry so much, or something.
if we bring, if the consciousness, you mean, Fernando, if this is what you're asking, if consciousness brings about with the living a phenomenon, this is what you mean? That consciousness? This is
Yeah,
what you mean?
I was thinking because with these two examples we could correlate things about crying, but sometimes you bring from, I don't know, from where, without any uh, event in this current life, bring something like a person that that cries a lot, or that leak a lot his nose or something, or is too sensitive, and another one no. And I was
Yes.
thinking that sometimes it's not so personal as well, we
It's
bring
not
like,
personal. Yes, it's not personal. It's not.
but you bring a spark from something, like from a pattern, like the sages
Yes,
speaks that peoples bring their souls from different parts of Adam Kadmon.
yes, different kind of consciousness. Yes, this is what they
Yes,
say, that people are in a way coming or appearing in life. The lore says that there is manifestation of humans all over the world, but each one is different. This is why they describe some are manifested from the ear, some are manifested from the nose, sometimes some are manifested from the arm, left arm, right arm, foot, and so yes, different kind. This is a beautiful way, symbolical way to describe different um, manifestations of consciousness. Yes, and there is no, in a way, it's not personal. It's not personal. Nothing is personal. It's quite relieving.
yes. But this could be a course of empathy as well, because the right arms, someone that came from the right arm can see the world completely different from someone that came from the heart, let's say. So
Yes,
just to bring that, maybe your point, when we bring our point of view, is just a point of view from a perspective, and it does not, uh, it is not the universal uh, truth, let's say. If we
again,
could hold this idea, if we could hold the idea that we are just looking from, like, let's say that we came from the heart of Adam Kadmon, I would like to think like this.
yeah,
But no, just to point. But it is different, the point of view of the world from someone that came from the ear. If we could understand that people are different manifestation of the same
yes,
God.
yes. Yeah, the same unicity, different manifestation. Yes, all of us are different manifestation. Yes, it's not personal. It's a fascinating topic. Any questions? Abigail, Yanis, Felipe, Jill, Rodrigo, Cindy, Fernando, any question? I would like to thank each and every one of you for being here with us today, to wish you a very good month. This is a new moon month, month of Nisan, comes from miracles. Wishing you all great miracles. A miracle is a relation to the potential, because usually the manifestation, the 80%, is that we experience in the senses, and the 20 rest of the percent, which are hidden usually, we don't have connection to. But this is the month of relation to the source. Thank you so much, and shalom shalom. See you here on Thursday.